Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to my channel, Jane's Diary Media. Today we'll be talking about how to write an interesting short story. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell so that you can get more notification. This channel is all about how to do it yourself, how to do things yourself. So today we are talking about how to write an interesting short story. The short story is the ideal medium for many writers. Like people express their thoughts, express their imaginations through writing. And if you cannot write a short story well, you might not be able to even market your products. You might not be able to market your new business. You might not be able to do anything. So, how to write an interesting short story. It is a revitalizing experience. It's a very serious activity that you need to learn. It is as natural to many as breathing it is to the lungs. Like some people find it so easy to write. Like once they pick up their pen, they are just writing and it's sweeting them. Like they just like it. Okay. But for some of us who are learning, who are still trying to learn how to do it, you can learn it. Who says you cannot learn it? Okay. Excuse me. You can learn it. A good short story, like a novel, will enthrall and entertain your reader. You know, there's nothing as good as when somebody comes across your write-up and they are glued to their TV, or I say TV, sorry, don't mind me. They are glued to the screen. They want to just go through it. They want to read it. They want to know everything about it. And I'm actually bringing this out from my blog, janesdiary.blog. So you might like to visit janesdiary.blog to be able to understand what I'm talking about. You this cough, go. You know, a good short story will keep your readers to the screen. They won't want to leave at all. You can learn how to write a successful short story in no time by brainstorming, drafting, and polishing. The best part is that you can keep editing until you are happy with it. Oh, I remember when I'm bent on writing the best for my blog, or sometimes when I'm writing for a client, you see the way I will delete and write again, delete and write again, because I want the best for my blog. I want the best for whoever I'm writing for. Or if I want to give a speech, I want the best for whatever I'm doing. So the first here is brainstorming ideas. Like come up with a plot or a scenario. You can come up with a plot. Like if you are short of what to write, there are times your brain is just blank. You don't even know where to start from. You don't even know what to write. You don't know what to pen down. Just start with a plot. Like, okay, let's say just bring up a scene. Think about what the story is going to be about and what is going to happen in the story. Consider what you're trying to address or illustrate. Decide what your approach or angle on the story is going to be. It's as easy as that. For example, you can start with a simple plot, like your main character has to deal with bad news, or your main character gets an unwanted visit from a friend or family. That's how to start. You can also try a more complicated plot like your main character wakes up in a parallel dimension, or your main character discovers someone else's deep secrets. you know just try to brainstorm. Think about something. You can't just pick up a pen and a book and the next thing is you are writing. You may end up writing what you don't like. Let me not say another thing. You may end up writing what you don't like. You may end up writing what is not going to be sweet, and people will reject your write-up. So it is better and very important that I'm trying to mute my system so that we'll have a sweet sale. Okay, the next one is concentrate on a complex main character. If you really want to write a long story, a very short story rather, I don't know what's all about this long story. Concentrate on a complex main character. Like most short stories will only feature one or two main characters. Consider a protagonist with a clear desire, but who is also full of contradictions. It is not enough to have a good or bad character. Make your main character complex and well-rounded by giving them interesting attributes and feelings. Have you watched Z Word before? Z Word is one of the very. I'm not advertising them, and I'm not giving them so much accolades because they also have their flops. But what I'm trying to say is when it comes to writing, when it comes to confusing their audience, when it comes to going up and down. Okay, now it's part of it's part of the writing process. You put your readers in suspense. You put them in small wonderland. But it's not like you overdo it. The way some people overdo it, that's not what we are talking about. Okay, finding inspiration for interesting characters. There are characters all around you. Spend some time with people watching in public setting, such as a mall or a bustling pedestrian street. Make a list of interesting people you come across and consider how you could include them in your story. You can also take on the characteristics of people you know, like you know we have people all around us. You have your neighbors, you have your girlfriends, you have your boyfriend. They are dramatic. I've heard people say drama queen, drama queen. Eh, use that drama queen, the attributes of that drama queen, use it and write your short story. You can also take on the characteristics of people, like I said, developing a backstory. Investigate your main character's past to learn more about what makes them tick. What was it like to be a child for the lonely old man? What happened to the scar on his hand? Even if you don't include these details in the story, having a thorough understanding of your character will help them ring through. Hmm. It's very important that that's why you see some people who are not well taught, who are not well learned in this story writing thing. You just see that if you pick up their novel or maybe anything they've written, it's just straight away and it's just too dull. It's just like watery okra. But when you go through some write-ups, oh God, you want to sleep there. Like some people will say, we die here. You want to sleep here. You want to keep reading. I've read stories before that I read I read again, I read again, just because it's just interesting. Not that I don't understand what the writer was talking about. Hmm. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Characters create a plot, like create a character who adds to the intrigue and complexity of your story. Create a central conflict for the main character. Every good story will have a central conflict where the main character has to deal with an issue or a problem. Present a conflict for your main character early in your story. Make your main character's life difficult or hard. For example, maybe your main character has a desire or wants that they have a hard time fulfilling, or perhaps your main character is trapped in a bad or dangerous situation and must figure it out to stay alive. That is the thing now. Let is Because your story is representing the normal life scenario. So it's not going to be like you're writing for dolls. Like it's not like you're writing about dolls or you're writing about inanimate objects. Human beings have problems they face one day after the other. So you need to include them in your write-up. Pick an interesting setting. Another key element of a short story is the setting, or where the events of the story are taking place. You may stick to one central setting for the short story and add details of the setting to scenes with your character. Choose a setting that is interesting to you and that you can make interesting for your reader. Remember that this is all about your reader and nobody else. So anything that will not give your reader joy, avoid it. Avoid it. Okay? Tips on crafting a setting. Writing down the names of your settings, such as small colony on Mars or the high school baseball field, is a good way to start. Visualize each location as clearly as possible and jot down any details that come to mind. Place your characters there and imagine what they might do there. Consider the following as you plan your story. Where does your story need to take place based on your characters and arc of your plot? Make your setting such an important part of your story that your readers won't be able to imagine it in any other way. For example, if your main character is a man who gets into a car accident, setting the story in a small town during the winter gives the crash a plausible reason, like we say blackouts. You get it. Consider a particular thing. Many short stories
revolve around a central theme and explore it through the eyes of a narrator or a central character. You can think about a broad theme like love, desire, or loss from the perspective of your main character. You can also concentrate on a specific theme such as sibling love, desire for friendship, or parental loss. Make an emotional climax a priority. Every good short story contains a shattering moment in which the main character experiences an emotional high. The climax usually occurs in the second half of the story or near the end. The main character may feel overwhelmed, trapped, desperate, or even out of control at the story's climax. For example, your main character, a lonely elderly man, may face an emotional climax in which he must confront his neighbor about his illegal activity. Alternatively, you could have an emotional climax in which the main character, a young adolescent girl, defends her brother against school bullies. Okay, so the next one says consider an ending that includes a twist or a surprise. Like somebody will tell you, watch out for part two, season two. How do you think those seasonal films have right? Hello? For him to write season one, season two, and to the end, and you are still enjoying the write up. You see, it's not an easy thing. It must be a very tough job for them. Um, so I'm going to stop here for now. To read the best part of this topic, just click on www.janesdiary.blog. Janesdiary.blog. You will see this article there. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Kindly subscribe. Have a nice day.